Thank you.
Okay.
We're all having a conversation, which means
You can
no
tell.
one will watch.
Oh, they know. Most people all know now to do that.
Okay.
They've been on Zoom and I think they all know that. But I'll tell her that to please let them know. You'll let me know when she should pop open.
Robin and Mark, do you hear me? Robin, Mark?
Yep, we can all hear you, Dad.
Okay, sweetie, thank you.
He's really concerned about he's seen people like not unmuted, I guess.
Everybody might want to pin their video to funeral of Natalie Rosendorf to that window and to start to mute. It looks like we're getting ready to start.
I'm sure. Yeah. They went for the government. No, I know. He retired many years ago. No, that's my dad. My wife, my father-in-law who left the area years ago. My wife did grow up here. We both we met him.
Robin, do you hear me?
He's going to talk. So, yeah. And then and it's on Demon Lives. Oh, thank you. They've been wonderful. Everyone's been reaching out so nice. And that's Rabbi?
Carl,
I'm here. Who's this?
it's Ariel.
Hi, Ariel.
Hi. What cemetery is this?
It's in Olney. I'm embarrassed to say I don't know the exact name of the cemetery. It's in Olney, right around the corner from where Mark and Gail live.
It might
Okay.
be to J.N. Memorial.
It's wonderful.
Sorry?
It's very close to home, so that family can visit mom and dad.
Thank you.
Family, a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend. Love to you and your family in Israel.
I wasn't sure until now. Okay. Alan?
Please mute.
I wasn't sure until
No problem. We'll call him first.
Okay.
How about that?
Ariel, if you hear me, send our love to your brother in California.
I will. Thank you very much.
Carl, could you ask everybody to mute?
Yes, he can go first. Okay.
Carl, could you ask everybody to mute, please?
Hey, can everyone please
Hey,
mute?
Jerry, I'm on my cell phone watching
Everyone
the
can please mute.
funeral of
Thank
Natalie
you.
Rosendorf,
Really?
and then
Yeah,
I'm playing
you can
at
hear us. I may
11:30
not be able to
online.
see it, but we
Call
can
me
hear.
on my house phone if you get this message real quick. Bye.
And zoom in with Carl to make sure her volume's on.
Yeah, make
Hold
sure
it
your
the whole
volume's
time.
good.
And he's just gonna hold it. Does she have to hold it like toward the camera or just straight forward?
Just out.
Just out, just like
Everybody.
normal?
Yeah.
Oh, and whoever can hear can hear.
No, you'll hear.
Oh, you will?
Seeing, I don't know, but you'll be able to hear.
Oh, that's
Seeing
fine.
could be small. And
Does
it's,
he, so she's gonna hold the phone and.
That means you were invited, but
I wonder when he knows, how will we alert him?
we'll let
Like-
him know he
like-
can hear us.
Oh, you're right, we'll say,
He can
yeah,
hear us.
that makes sense, of course.
So look, what I'm going to do, the chances of this staying on your code are pretty much zero or none. I'm going to say the blessing, and then I'm going to give this one to you, and I'm going to give one to Mark.
Of course.
Just put it in your pocket to get home, just because the wind is never
Yes.
going to
And we
keep
wear
it
it for the week?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
say with me the blessing, ready, which is on the rending of this rhythm. This is Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Dayan Ha'emet. Means blessed are you, Lord our God, rule the universe and righteous judge. So this goes, it's on your left side. So you'll just pin it on any garment here. That's one.
Thank you.
Mark, I'm going to give you yours. Get a book. Let me hear this. Take this one first.
Is there anything?
Okay. All right. Carl, if you liked it, it's probably I
Hi,
can't see you,
Rabbi.
Carl, but I trust you can hear me. It's Rabbi Hoffman. So if
Hi,
you say for
Rabbi.
yourself,
Hi.
Good morning,
take a little
Rabbi.
piece of a ribbon, something like this that I'm holding up, and you pin it with a safety pin and just make a little rip in it. And then whenever you'll change your garment for the week, you just change it onto that garment. And you can fulfill the obligation that way, no problem at all.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Why don't we gather okay. Ready? Okay.
You gotta leave it. They can see you. You gotta line it up.
So first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us, both a group of you that are here present at the cemetery, and also those who may be joining us from Zoom. And we appreciate your presence either way. We're going to begin our service in memory of Natalie Rosendorf, the same way we really begin anything in the life of the Jewish people, and that is, with reference to the book of Psalms, the Sefer Tehillim. And the book is a very long and complex book, but I'm going to share with you just a few readings which are considered particularly fitting for a service of interment. Michtam LeDavid, Shamreini El, Ki Chasiti Ba, Amarti LaAdonai, Adonai Ata, Tovati Bal Alecha, Likadoshim Asher Ba'aretz Ema, Vadirei Kol Hefti Ba, Yirbuat Totam Acher Maharu Balasif Niskan Midam, Ubalasa Et Shemotam Al Sifatai, Adonai Menachel Ki V'chosi, Atatomich, Gorali, Bavalim Naflu Li Benimi Mafnachawat Shapralai, Avarechet Adonai Asher Yatzani, Afle Lot Yisruni Kilyotai, Shiviti Adonai Lenegdi Tamid, Ki Miamini Balemot Lachen Samachli Vive Agel Kivoti, Aftisari Yishkam Laveta, Kilotazov Nafshi Lisholo Titen Chasidech Olirot Shachat, Todieni Ora Chayim, Savas Machodet Panecha, Nimot Diaminecha, Nesa. Protect me, O Lord, for you are our refuge. I say to Adonai, you are my guide and benefactor. There is no divine being beside you. My heart exults and my spirit rejoices. My body rests secure, for you will not abandon us or forsake your faithful. You will show us the path to life, to the full joy of your presence, to the bliss of being close to you forever.
Amen.
And really, before I call on a few people to share a few words with us, I'd like to take just a moment or two to recite a prayer we refer to as the Tziduk Hadin. And the Tziduk Hadin means literally the vindication of the divine verdict. And whether our years have been many or sometimes fewer, there's a traditional Jewish belief that God grants us something called our neshama, our soul, at the time of our birth, and takes it in return at the time of our passing. And so in memory of Natalie Rosendorf, we want to take a moment to recite the Tziduk Hadin we traditionally recited at the time of interment. Atzur tamim b'chol po'alo, yichol derachav mishpat, el emunah ve'en avel, tzadik v'yashar hu. Tzadik atah Adonai la'amitu l'chayot, asher biyadecha pikdon kol ruchot. Chali lecha, zichronenu limchot, v'yunai necha b'rachamim alecha, v'koinu v'kutot yelecha adon v'rachamim b'atzikot. Adonai natan, v'Adonai lekach, Yishem Adonai mevorach, v'rachum yechaper avon v'lo yashchit, v'yirbal hashivato v'lo yikvachamato, v'yashov yafar, ha'aretz k'shehayah, Aruach Tashuv El Elohim Asher Netanah. The Shelter Rock, his work is perfect, for all his ways are justice. The God of faithfulness and devoid of iniquity. Righteous are you, O Lord, in granting life or in bringing about death. For all spirits are pledged into your hands. May you look with mercy upon us, the remnant of your flock. The Lord is given, the Lord is taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. The dust returns to the earth as it was, but the spirit returns to the Lord who granted it. And the soul, Natalie Rosendorf and Tom Abad Eli, be bound up in the bond of life eternal. Send comfort, O Lord, to those who mourn. Grant strength to those who burden with sorrow. Let's say.
Amen.
We're going to take some time to reflect upon Natalie's life. And it's appropriate, we obviously cannot summarize decades of human life with all its richness and nuance, but we do want to take a moment to think back on the profound ways that Natalie's influenced different of us in different ways at different times in our lives. So the first person, we call upon several people, but the first person, Alan, one of the grandchildren, has to say a few words. Where is he? There you are. Okay. Why don't you stand where I am?
Oh, sure.
They'll hear you better.
Why?
Oh,
Okay. I think my mom had she had so much love to share, and we all know she loved us so much, but I think real quick, one real tiny story. I was visiting her at work, and there was like some young guy that she worked with there. I forget his name, unfortunately, but my mom was there giving him like dating advice and like helping him pick out watches to wear and like where to go on his next vacation. And she was like, no, don't wear that on your date. Like that, that won't be impressive. But then he came up to me afterwards and he was like, your grandma like helps me with everything, like my whole life. And I was like, wow, this guy has like a work mom on. She really was. And then introducing her to Ankita, she loved her so much and would text her parents like a couple times a month just to check in on them. So we knew how much she loved us, but then to also like be sharing that with the rest of the world also just shows how much capacity she had. It's something I really like appreciated later in life. Growing up, we knew how much she loved us, but it was something I learned to appreciate even more the past few years. So I think we have so many reminders of her all over our apartment. We have a menorah. She signed the front of every one of my Harry Potter books. She always, the first day they came out, she always gave them to me. So I guess I'll just end with her two favorite things, I think, to say to me, but she probably said them to all of us also. I think they were her favorite sayings were to always take time to smell the flowers, smell the roses, and to take care of each other. Those were the two things she said the most. So that's what we'll keep doing. That's nice.
Thank you. I appreciate you sharing with us on behalf of the second generation. I'd say, right? Robbie, would you be willing to do this?
my brother's going to talk on my behalf as well.
Okay.
And the whole other grandkids too. But I just wanted to say how much she meant to us. And how never forget. And I love her all of her family. And she just meant the world to us. And there's not another one like our grandma. And love her forever.
You say your brother, Mark?
I think Mark will go next and then Carl.
So it's hard to begin to say all the wonderful things about our mom, Natalie. She lived her whole life in Washington, D.C., and so proud of it from the early days and right on up to sharing with the latest and our grandson, ourselves, our Harper, and my sister and her family, and my brother Carl, and who she couldn't make it in Florida. We continue Mom's legacy. A couple anecdotes that we always like to say about our mom, some of the kind of fun and different things. She welcomed Gail with open arms into our family back when we wed. And one of the things that she was so excited about was that there was another person in the family now who could not stand mushrooms. All of our friends and family knew wherever Mom traveled, it was a no mushroom zone. Some other items I remember being with my brother Carl and my sister Robin when we were teens growing up, and we would travel and we would go to theater with Mom and Dad. And one particular time they were excited to take us to a concert. We were like, wow, a concert with our parents? How exciting. It was the Beach Boys show, and as the concert ended, as is relatively typical, the fans were cheering for an encore. And everybody brought their Bics out, this dates us a bit, the Bic lighters, and lit up the lighters. And my mom screamed to my dad, Harvey, they're burning down the place. We had to calm her down, and we all shut. The show continued. And then another amazing story. My mom, she wasn't really, she didn't preach much, but what she did is she shared her divine thoughts with us and all other thoughts as well. One particular time we heard about that she had was shopping at her favorite store in Bethesda, CVS. She was one for spending hours at this particular CVS. They would close it at night and they would check for Natalie. And she was gone that day. But on one particular occasion, she came and she was about to pull into the parking spot. And some other man edged her out. Mom proceeded to get out of her car, walk up to the man's window, and said, this is not the way of the world. And each person in their own time. And the man was so confused, he just started laughing so hard, and he pulled out of the space and yielded to my arms. So those are just some of the fun things. And we will cherish her spirit and hopefully follow in her wonderful path. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, they were. Oh, okay. I just wanna.
Grammy had the amazing gift of making everyone feel special and loved. When you mentioned her to anyone she's ever come into contact with, kind of like Alan was talking about, you're immediately met with the incredible story of the tremendous impact she had on them. So that story you told just was so typical, that so many people that we would never even think that she was so important to. Her greatest joy was to love and to also be loved. And she had so many incredible small ways of showing it. I wasn't surprised when my mom told me that she already had Harper's second birthday present picked out at their house to give him next summer. And she always spent hours and hours shopping for loofahs for the shower when she heard that Andrew liked to use them, because it was just these small things she would do that gave her joy, that she knew would also give other people what I think she would call immense pleasure, she would say. And it's just this feeling of like so much joy that she would have. She loved a quick text or call, especially while traveling or maybe during busy times. And then if we'd send her a picture of Harper, sometimes she would say that she sent it out to her international network, and it would already be in moments in Boston, Florida, California, and Israel. Speaking of all over the world, some of her fondest memories were traveling the world with the love of her life, and she always shared with us their moments that they had, her and Harvey, in romantic cities, dropping coins in the Trevi Fountain, and wandering the gardens of Paris. I know that she really, truly believed that one day their love story would continue and they would meet again. And that brought her a lot of peace in life, and I think it can bring us a lot of peace too. Her greatest joy was to love and be loved. May she forever love and be loved through our beautiful memories of our special Grammy.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Helene.
It's really hard to be able to put into words the type of woman my Grammy was. She's always been the shining light in my life. She was always the most selfless, honest, and caring person I've ever known. She always put others first. She always lit up a room and made everyone around her happy. Some people see their grandparents on occasion, but it was different with my Grammy. She's constantly been in my life ever since I was a little boy. Every holiday, every occasion, she was always there. She always found a way to make you smile. She was extremely family oriented. She always loved meeting up with all of her children and grandchildren, especially when it was all of us together. Passover was one of her favorite holidays. It was so much fun having her at the dinner table with us. She always filled the room with infectious joy and warmth. Looking back, I noticed that when she was there, we would all sing a little louder, smile a little bigger, and pray with more passion. She just had that effect on us. When I used to go to sleepaway camp in the summer, she would send all of us packages with candy, toys, and elaborate notes. On birthdays, she would send beautiful cards with warm-hearted messages and meaningful gifts. These days, she always sent the sweetest text messages out of nowhere with a flood of hearts and smile emojis, asking us how we're doing and saying how much she loved us. She always had the best sense of humor. She always found humor in the little things, even when times were toughest. And you could always hear her laugh from a mile away and know that it's just Grammy spreading her joy. She didn't have a bad bone in her body. Gave me hope and showed me that no matter what, there was always something to smile about. Through the years, she had various issues with her health, but that never stopped her. She was always so happy to see us that she would do her happy dance whenever we were together. When we weren't together in person, she always spoke to us on the phone, and it always started, "Hi, honey," and we talked about everything from my job to my friends to Tom Brady and more. She always made sure to ask how we were doing, extremely caring about our well-being, and whenever the conversation ended, she would always tell us how proud of us she was and how much she loved our little talks and couldn't wait for the next one. And I just want to say, I'm so proud of you, Granny. You inspire all of us to be the best we can be. You're truly irreplaceable. I hate saying it, but it really won't be the same without you. You're a key component of our lives, but luckily she raised 3 wonderful children that will continue her legacy. I just know she'd want us to move forward and smile on all of our memories with her. The thing that gives me peace is knowing that she'll be reunited with my Grampy in heaven. And we can use all the lessons she taught us to be better people, to love one another and accept each other's differences, and appreciate the little things in life, because life is so precious and you never know how long you have. I love you so much, Grammy. You are truly the best, and I will have you in my heart always.
That was wonderful, Michael.
Okay. Carl, can you hear us?
Can you hear me, Rabbi?
Yes, we can hear you, Carl. Yes.
It's very difficult to follow in the footsteps of those magnificent words that were spoken by everyone. Truly felt from the heart, and said a number of the things that I was going to say. So I'm going to try to make it brief as I can, Rabbi. Love to everyone who's out there and sharing with us. It means so much. Natalie Cameron Rosendorf, loving, caring, giving wife, mother, grandma, great-grandma, co-worker, and family matriarch. Mom passed away a few days ago and joined Dad and Grandma Shirley and Grandpa Eli and her brother Gary and others that I'm sure I'm forgetting. In our world, every day was Mother's Day when it came to Grandma. Again, I want to thank everyone who's here, as their presence gives us a lot of strength and we can just feel the love. Sorry, I'm crying. Just a little bit about Mom and Dad. They had a beautiful 45-year-old marriage, special love, special kisses, love notes left for each other, just bursting with life. I know Mark talked about some of the things about growing up with Mom, and some of the things the words I wrote down is loving, household, dinners, trips, camps, school. And of course, when Mom would make my favorite dinner, hot dog and baked bean casserole. Mom had quite a life. She worked, maybe some people don't know, she worked in the Kennedy. She worked in the Eisenhower and Kennedy White House. And Mom later went on to work for a number of professional soccer teams in the Washington, D.C. area. And in addition to raising a family, being a wonderful partner for Harvey and mother to Mark, Robin, and I, she also did a lot of charity work in the Washington, D.C. area, giving many countless hours of her time and her passion, starting the Hannah Rosendorf Heart Fund for Dad's mom, being involved with a lot of social events and fundraising for the Hebrew Home for the Aged in Bethesda and Rockville. As everyone has said, Mom was a doer. Mom was a doer and a shaker. Mom had a wonderful life with Dad. One lovely thing was the fact that they were able to work together at the Long and Foster office in Bethesda, Maryland. And I know that there's many people from that office that are here today, and we appreciate it, along with family members near and far, as far away as Israel, that are on here today. Mom certainly enjoyed the time that they worked together at Long and Foster. It was a blessing, and it was great, that opportunity they had to work together. And it was an enriching part of Mom's life. I think I talked about some of the things that I remember growing up with Mom, in a loving, caring household. Mark, Robin, and I were certainly blessed to have such a wonderful mom as Natalie and father as Harvey. Again, speaking briefly on some of the things that previous speakers have said, one of Mom's greatest joys was the fact that she has 7 grandchildren: Bradley, Helene, Stephanie, Alan, Dr. Alan Siegel, Michael, Stacy, Noah, and great-grandchild Harper, which Helene spoke about, Helene and her lovely husband, Andrew. I do want to briefly mention how blessed our family has been, having a great sister-in-law and Gail, and a wonderful brother-in-law and Chuck. Chuck and Gail, I hope you know how much you mean to the family and meant to Mom. Just a blessing. And if I've missed anyone, I know that Daniel's out there, Stephanie's spouse. I mentioned Andrew. I know there's boyfriends that are out there and fiancés. So you're all part of the family. A story about the family. If you put on a blindfold and went into a restaurant, you would know immediately where the Rosendorf family was. The Rosendorf Siegel family, Stoller family. It was the loudest. And you would hear Robin and Mark and Gail and Stacy and Grandma Mom just cackling. The life of the party, wherever Mom was, whether it be in a family function or at a restaurant, it was like the life of the party. Just a little, and I'm going to make this as brief as I can, a little vignette that on Monday when Mom passed, I was watching TV that night. And to me, it's not a coincidence. It was Mom saying hello to me and sending love. The Wizard of Oz was on, which Mom and I used to love to watch over the years. So I saw the end of that and I flipped the station and Beauty and the Beast came on, which was Mom and Dad's favorite movie. And I just smiled and waved to the screen and said, I love you too, Mom. I'm sorry that we all can't meet in person, but after this COVID situation hopefully gets better and we all get vaccines, we will all hopefully meet again next to Natalie and Harvey. And there is going to be something later in the week that maybe Rabbi Hoffman or Mark or Robin will mention when on Zoom, where we'll have an opportunity for others to speak about how Natalie enriched their life. And in closing, again, I want to thank everyone who's here for enriching Mom's lives and our lives. Mom has made a big difference in the world. And I just want to close by saying love and good health and shalom, l'chaim to everybody. Amen. I'm done, Rabbi.
Thank you, Carl, for sharing with us. We deeply appreciate your words, and it's not very difficult. From the moment we saw each other on Zoom, that you were going to say something, words which were very special in your mom's memory, and you surely achieved that. I just want to share one little anecdote of my own. I want to thank all those who shared with us that my phone rang 9:15, 9:30, something like that, and I was in my house, and I see the area code comes up 954. I recognize that as being South Florida. Who could be calling me? My son lives in South Florida, but his number is different. And lo and behold, it was Carl. And we had a lovely, short but lovely conversation. And he was kind enough to send me, through the miracles of modern technology, 4 photographs featuring Natalie at different stages of life. And the oldest of those pictures, Carl dates from 1971. The hairstyle certainly seemed to confirm that. As well as the ages of the children, yes, that's surely correct. And you can also see the pictures in black and white. At least it is in my phone, in black and white, because that still existed in 1971. A little bit going forward, there's a lovely. First of all, there's a lovely picture of Natalie with Mark and Carl. There actually is a picture, and another picture which shows Natalie and Harvey together as apparently a couple, a little bit older in life, empty nesters. Hard to say exactly when it was taken, but I noticed Mark also had the same picture on his phone, so we were able to match that one up. And the final picture shows Natalie much more recently, as an older woman. And in the caption, it talks about her being the matriarch of the family at that point. She was the last member of that generation. And I was really struck because I know as the patriarch of his family, we read the portion Vayechi this week. And our patriarch Jacob, the last of our patriarchs, before his passing, assembles his 12 sons, and he confers blessings upon his 12 sons, and then he passed away and is interred. And if one allows for the usage of modern technology, perhaps Natalie's passing was not all that different. And I'm told that there was an extensive Zoom goodbye by the wonders of modern technology and science. And if my math is correct, the numbers are not too far off. If one considers 3 children, a son-in-law and daughter-in-law, and 7 grandchildren, you get to 12. I left Harper out, sorry, but it's pretty close. And ultimately, what Jacob does in this portion, he tries to confer and leave his family, each of the members, with some kind of future vision, with some kind of future idea that can be applied going forward. And I hope that's what Natalie will leave for all of you, a vision, not only of what is today, but of what might be possible going forward. And most especially, I mean, not only to all of you, but most especially to Rob and to Mark and to Carl as their direct mourners, as some children. We hope this will be, as I like to say, a sort of a lamp to your feet and guide you as some of the roles, some of the things you used to do now become something that I hope you'll do with equal amount of love and caring that she showed you. I'm going to, at this time, do a little reading, and then we're going to have an opportunity to do a few mitzvot, to do a few commandments, and then I'll give you some instructions as far as this evening, how we can continue our remembrance this evening, even after we've returned home. But first, allow me to recite a quick psalm, and then we're going to say the memorial prayer. Find it here. I'm going to, going in the shelter of the Most High, abiding in the protection of the Almighty. I say of the Lord, do a few for my stronghold and refuge, and my God in whom I trust. And then God will save you, as far as shelter you. You will find refuge, for God's fidelity is as certainly. When you call to me, I will answer you. First, I will be there in times of trouble. I will rescue and honor. And then we're going to say the memorial prayer. Find it. Memorial prayer. I'm going to go into the shelter of the Most High, and abiding in the protection of the Almighty. I say of the Lord, for my stronghold and refuge. And God in whom I trust. Then God will save you as far as help you will find refuge. God's fidelity is as Arakia Maziri, but first, I will rescue and honor. And then I'm going to say the royal prayer. Ana Baal Harachamim, Yasirah Beseter Kenafech Elolamim, the shelter of the Most High, our God, exalted and full of compassion, grant perfect peace among the holy and the pure, the soul of Natalie Rosendorf of Muhammad Eli, who has gone to eternal rest. Master of mercy, we ask that you remember all of the worthy and the righteous deeds which she performed while in the land of living. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life eternal. The Lord is her portion. May she rest in peace. And let us say. So what we're going to do now is we're going to first have an opportunity to say the first mourner's Kaddish here to say the interment. And if you want to look in the little book, it's on page 2. If you want to do it by memory, that's okay too. Subsequent to that, we'll have opportunity for those who wish to participate in the Kurat Hamet, in the burial of our own deceased, a mitzvah because it has no possibility of recompense. You can place a few spades of earth on the casket. We have 2 shovels behind you. For those who prefer to wear latex gloves while doing so, I have those also available if you wish. And finally, the last act of a service of interment is we offer the greeting of condolence, the standard greeting of condolence for mourners, which is that Amakom Yinachem Etzem B'Til Shravel Eitzion V'Yishalayim, that God comfort you among the mourners of Zion and of Jerusalem. So we're going to take a moment. Let's do together the mourners Kaddish. Again, if you have a little booklet, it's page 2. Yitkadal V'Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Ve'alma Divera Yereutei V'Yamlich Malchutei V'Chayechon V'Yom Echon V'Chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala V'Yizmon Kariv V'Imru Amen Yehei Shemei Rabbah V'Vorach Le'olam Olomei Omayah Yitvarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitramam V'Yitnaseh V'Yitadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shemei V'Kudsha B'Richu Li'ela V'Yipol V'Yirchata V'Shirata V'Ushbechata V'Nechemata V'Amiran V'Alma V'Imru Amen Yehei Shalama Rabba Mim Shemaya V'Chaim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen Oseh Shalom V'Imramah Hu Barak Amav Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Okay, we're going to give everybody a few moments, as I mentioned before. If you wish to take part in the Kurat Hamet and the earth that's over there, you can use either of those, shovels. They are both available for your use.
Robin, can you hear me, sweetie? Robin? Robin, do you hear me? Oh,
Yeah, there's that. I'm not that.
how sweet. How sweet. It's magnificent. Rabbi, do you hear me? Rabbi?
Yes. Okay.
Rabbi, can you hear me, Rabbi?
Apparently, everybody's been given. I don't know if you can hold this up so Carl can see it. Can you see it? Yeah. So everybody's been gifted, it seems, a butterfly, and these are to be placed around his bench. Is that right? So I'm going to conclude the service this way. First of all, I want to wish the direct greeting to mourners, which is that God comfort you among the mourners of Zion. To our three direct mourners, Mark, to Robin, and to you, Carl, Florida. We're going to give everybody a little bit of an opportunity to place these butterflies. We're apparently asked to place them around this bench, which is to my right and a little bit behind me. And I remind everybody, if you wish to join us for the Shiva, it's all on Zoom these days, everything is. Please use the synagogue's website, the B'nai Shalom only website. There's a little place you click for religious services. The password is the synagogue's street number 18401. And I want to thank everyone who joined us here physically at the Judean Gardens in Silver Spring. And I want to thank all of those who joined us virtually as well. And we hope for all of you, the memory of Natalie Rosendorf will be eternal.
I know. We used to play.
Very much.
Yeah, I think I need.